Have you ever wondered how an addict becomes an addict? What makes them wake up and try meth or heroin for that first time? I can't speak for everybody, but I can tell you what I know and what I've been through. It all started in middle school for me. I went to not a nice middle school and not a very nice part of town. The lockers were getting busted open for heroin and ecstasy. Everyone was smoking weed. And so I started to get a little more curious. In 8th grade, I went to the doctor. This is the first opioid I've ever tried. I had an ear infection, and the doctor gave me a prescription of Vicodin 5s. I don't know what 13-year-old needs Vicodin. I don't know what earache can warrant Vicodin. But this was in 2010, so they were pretty loose with it back then. So the doctor gave me 2 Vicodin before we left the hospital. I instantly felt the rush. It felt warm. I felt high. I felt good. But on the way home, I had to have my dad pull over so I could puke because I was so high. They gave me way too much, and it seemed like they didn't care. At the end of that year, 8th grade, it's the first time I smoked weed. I went over to my friend's apartments, and they had some weed hidden in a case of Dazed and Confused. This was also 2010. We went to the dumpsters behind his apartment and smoked between a little fence and a dumpster. And that was the first time I smoked weed, and it was everything I've ever dreamed of. I instantly wanted more. I started smoking every weekend, and this went on for the whole summer. At the beginning of 9th grade, I met some new friends, and we started to smoke a lot of weed. We started to hang out all the time, and we started to do stuff together. 9th grade is also the first time I tried alcohol. I got drunk with my closest friends, and again, I loved it. We ended up meeting this girl during high school in freshman year who gave us tramadol and liquid Vicodin that she got from a volleyball injury. And we had a little party and we drank all the liquid Vicodin. Second time I did opioids, I felt great. That feeling hit again. And then she gave us also some tramadol. The tramadol, I would take them, but already at 14 they weren't strong enough for me. I've always been a bigger guy. So the liquid Vicodin was good though. So we split up the tramadol between the four of us, and we stuffed it in highlighters so we could sell it at school. This basically just gave us weed and alcohol money. Just we didn't really know what they were. We just knew that people wanted them. And so in 10th or 11th grade is when I started to move on a little bit. I started doing coke, shrooms, acid. I started taking pretty much any pill I could get, Vicodin, Percocet, Xanax. And this was probably when it first started turning into a problem, but I didn't realize it. This is also when I started to do bad in school. And I know it's correlated, but at the time it didn't feel like that. At the time it was fun. But after high school, we started smoking coke. We weren't making crack, but we were making a paste out of coke and baking soda and rubbing it on the foil and smoking that. I don't know why we thought that made us better than people who smoke crack, but it didn't feel like the same thing. I also started doing a lot more Percocet, a lot more Xanax, a lot more anything I can find. Uh, 18 and 19, I tried meth. By 20, I was smoking heroin. By 21, I was a full-blown fentanyl addict. And what I think contributed to this, I grew up in an environment where drugs were pretty much everywhere. A lot of people in my family were on drugs. Everyone I went to school with did drugs, and they were very easy to get. Also, I was just curious. Everyone said weed was bad. I tried weed. It wasn't that bad. Everyone said acid was bad. I tried acid. It wasn't that bad. So I figured maybe they're lying about coke. I tried coke. It was kind of bad, but not that bad. So maybe heroin's not that bad. So I try heroin. Start doing heroin every weekend. And then eventually I'm doing it every day and getting sick. And at the end I was smoking 40 fentanyl pills a day. So let this just be a message. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Please try to understand your loved ones who are going through addiction more. And try not to be so harsh. Everybody's dealing with something, and most of it stems from trauma. Also just genetics. A lot of my family are addicts and it runs in my blood. I get addicted to pretty much everything I do or try. So again, if you guys are going through addiction problems, please reach out. Go to findtreatment.gov.